I walked over to him and I was like, how are you, sir? He's like, life-changing. It was life-changing. I didn't think I could do it, but I did. And see, cry every time.
Della Davis has been volunteering for Arizona Honor Flight for over 10 years now, and she still tears up every single time she assists veterans at Sky Harbor Airport in Phoenix. You may know Della from one of our earlier videos. She's a breast cancer survivor, and that alone makes her story pretty extraordinary. But the gift she gives to those who have served our beloved nation is priceless. In this video, she gives us an insider look into what Honor Flight is, what an Honor Flight experience is like for our military veterans, and why it is so dear to her heart. Welcome back to Everyone Has a Story, True Tales from Everyday Life. I'm Kelly, and I'm so glad you're here. Stay with us now for another extraordinary tale from an everyday person. This is Della's story of her involvement with Honor Flight.
So I volunteer for an organization called Honor Flight. It's a national network. I volunteer for Honor Flight Arizona. And I didn't know what it was about until a friend of mine who was a flight attendant said, oh, I was on an Honor Flight today. I'm like, well, what is that? And she says, it's an organization that takes World War II, Korea, and Vietnam veterans to Washington, D.C. for free. I'm like, She goes, yeah, you can volunteer. Go check out the website. So I did. And this was about 9 or 10 years ago. So I get online and I sign up and I go through my orientation. I'm not sure what to expect because I'm going to be the volunteer at the airport, right? So I'm going to send off the veterans and their guardians and then receive them when they arrive. And I thought, well, this is my way to give back. One, I wish now I would have joined the military, so this is kind of my way of honoring those who served instead of me. We get there, the vets start arriving, and they're always early because, you know, they're military, right? Race in there, try to get there early enough. They don't know what's coming. So they're there, the guardians, they all show up. And I always tell them, this is just like the military. We planned this just for you. Hurry up and wait. And they all laugh because they all know they've been in the military, and that's exactly how it goes. So we herd them up through security, and we hold them just as they get into security. We get a nice picture of, you know, the vets in their orangey gold t-shirts, and the guardians are in their blue shirts. And then they make an announcement. Hi, we've got an honor flight departing from gate D8 or whatever it might be. And then as we take them and we start walking towards gate D8, what they don't know is everybody who is there, they've asked them to stand up and clap for them. So they have this tunnel of people to walk through to their gate. And, you know, looking at some of these old stoic World War II or Korea, even Vietnam guys, I look over and you can see them kind of like, you know. And I said, honey, I cry every time. I've done this many, many times. I cry every time I bring you fellas here, or ladies.
We'll be back to the story in just a minute. I just wanted to say thank you. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Give us a thumbs up and ring that notification bell. We can't do it without you. Thanks again. Back to the story.
And so they take off, and the next day is like 12 hours of, oh God, I can't even list off how many memorials they see. Changing of the guard, everything. And they come back the next day exhausted. You can see how tired they are. And I'm like, well, sir or ma'am, how was your trip? And they all say, amazing, or oh my God, changed my life. I was on one flight as a guardian, and there was a Vietnam vet who, he didn't really want to go on the flight, but he went because his buddy was going. And in talking with him, the reason he didn't is because he's a 2-time Purple Heart recipient. His buddy died in his arms, and he wasn't sure if he could go to the Vietnam Wall. So we get there, and my charge was Colonel Carol. I'm pushing Colonel Carol in her wheelchair, such a bitty little thing. She met her husband in the military, and so I'm pushing her, and we're chatting, and I see the Vietnam vet there standing with his buddy's T-shirt, and he's looking at his name. So I just walk by, and I just put my hand on his back. And see, cry every time. In the evening time at dinner, I walked over to him, and I was like, "How are you, sir?" He's like, "Life-changing." It was life-changing. I didn't think I could do it, but I did. And I think he was carrying around a lot of grief, a sadness, maybe some bitterness. And I think you could see it lift from him. And then to get home, and what they don't know is on the flight home, they're going to get their final mail call. So they ask people to whoever signed them up, or if they signed up, have your friends, your family write letters to you. So they get handed a manila envelope with, could be their grandson, could be anybody who wrote them. And then there are schools who have their kids write little, and some of these kids they're like, 6. So the spelling, and it's all, but the vets love it. They love it. So they get their final mail call. There's laughing, there's crying, everything on the flight home. And then when they come back, what they don't know is when we get them together, people are clapping when they come off the plane, and then we take them through security. The Patriot Riders are there with their flags, and their family and friends are there waiting for them. And it's just an amazing time. I feel so blessed. Sometimes I feel guilty because I feel like I'm the one that's benefiting from honoring these folks. And it's an amazing organization, and it's all volunteers. There's 2 people that are on what do you call it? 2 people that get paid to handle books and all that good stuff. But everything else, anywhere you might go to an airport and see, we're all volunteers. It's an amazing organization. Yeah.
Wow. Did that make you tear up? Come on, admit it. That part about the Vietnam vet at the wall in D.C. with his buddy's T-shirt in his hand. Whew. Amazing healing happens during these honor flights, and we're so grateful to people like Della who help make it happen. Next week, we'll be bringing you the 3rd and last part of our interview with Captain Jay Wiek. You've really enjoyed his first 2 videos, and in this one you'll hear all about how he was raised in a family of seafarers and riverboaters. For generations, Jay's family has been making their living on the water, and he was fortunate to learn so much from the men in his family who came before him. Tune in again next week. Come spend some more time with Captain Jay. He's quite the storyteller, and he always has great wisdom to share in ways we can all relate to. Until then, be well, and we hope you're out making stories in your lives too. In fact, drop us a line in the comments below and let us know what you've been up to. What exciting things have you been doing, and what interesting people have you met this week? We'll see you in the comments.